Welcome to the TechMediaWire Podcast powered by IBN. This original audio production delivers market and sector insights, as well as exclusive interviews with innovative executives shaping the future in fast-moving industries, and may feature a client partner of IBN or one of the 60-plus investor-focused brands within IBN's dynamic brand portfolio. As a multifaceted financial news and publishing company, IBN leverages its extensive distribution network, utilizing multiple proprietary corporate communication tools to introduce both public and private companies to a vast and diverse audience of investors, consumers, influencers, journalists, and other targeted segments of the public. IBN may have received compensation to produce this audio content. Please be sure to read IBN's entire disclaimers for full disclosures. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the next revelatory episode of IBN's TechMediaWire podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to another online business briefing brought to you by the Investor Brand Network. And you are dialed in once again to the TechMediaWire podcast. You can sign up for the TechMediaWire right here at the Investor Brand Network. And we are going to be speaking to MindBio Therapeutics Corp in just a minute. Find them at Investor Brand Network by clicking on the Clients tab. They're in alphabetical order. You will find MindBio Therapeutics, who are duly listed. They're on the Canadian Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol MBIO, and in the States on the OTCQB under the ticker symbol MBQIF. I want you to go to their website. It's a beautiful website with a great investor presentation right on the homepage, and it's MindBio Therapeutics. But today we're going to be speaking to the CEO of the company, and that is Justin Hanka. Justin, how are you today? Thanks for making time for us all the way across the world.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, great to speak with you. For those who don't know, Justin's in Melbourne, Australia. I'm in Austin, Texas, but the time difference is no problem for us. So Justin, we've got a new audience here for you today. And I would like you to start by just sort of telling us what I saw when I went to your webpage, because your webpage, once again, it's an engaging site. And right there, voice is the new biomarker for health diagnostics. And I've actually heard a little bit about this. Can you fill us in on what your company's doing and the markets you're attempting to tap into?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good question. The human voice and our speech is a remarkable indicator of what's going on inside the body. And it's a non-invasive way of predicting and detecting internal health and also disease states. And so over the last many years, we've been doing drug and alcohol research and clinical trials and so forth, and collecting a lot of data, including speech data and voice data. And as technology has kind of improved and our use of machine learning and AI has improved and the technology has advanced incredibly, we are able to detect what's going on in the body, particularly with drug and alcohol intoxication, just by analysing the voice. And so in a series of world firsts, we can detect whether someone's been drinking alcohol, and we can detect whether they've been taking a range of drugs that affects the central nervous system. And why is that sort of interesting? It's interesting because the current sort of methodologies for detecting drug and alcohol are invasive. They involve taking some kind of a swab test for drugs in the mouth, or a blood test, urine sample, or a hair sample, or a breathalyzer. And in law enforcement, and also in workplace health and safety and other environments where people and industries and organisations are interested in whether someone is intoxicated or not, this solution is a scalable way to do drug and alcohol intoxication in the ambient environment. Just by listening to the sounds in the environment, we can detect general intoxication, or specifically with the individual. So we're taking this into workplace health and safety. We have opportunities in the mining industry, aviation industry, and in law enforcement.
Yeah, I think that's a very important thing that you just brought up at the end there. It's not just for law enforcement. Workplace safety is a bigger issue, really, for, I would assume, your target market, because let's be honest right now, when I look at your website, 88% accuracy, less than 3 seconds, 50 million plus data points. It can be used globally, so it can basically, because of the technology and the advancements, as you said, it doesn't matter if I have this Texas accent or you have your Australian accent. It's going to be able to calculate that in. Insurance companies, I mean, for whether it is at the workplace or out there on the streets with the police officers, this has got to be really a game changer. What's some of the interest that you're gauging? And I'm assuming, your company's sort of getting out there now, trade show circuit, going out and meeting people, giving these demos. What's the feedback been like?
Yeah, so we've made the discoveries, and we're in the middle of building and developing and deploying this technology in a way that will work for the mining industry and the aviation industries. We have some opportunities already in the mining industry in South America. In South America alone, in places like Chile, drug and alcohol use is a real problem for the mining industry. And what we like about the mining industry is sort of a first entry into workplace health and safety is that it's mandated. So the government and regulators, they mandate random testing, and the mining sites and the management are obviously incentivized to keep the workplaces safe. As high as 25% of all workplace accidents are caused by drug and alcohol intoxication, either directly or indirectly. And having a shutdown mining production can cost mining companies tens of millions of dollars if they're shut down for a few days. The other really interested party is the unions. So they're the interested party that will shut down a work site if there's an accident. And so there's a whole lot of forces here going on that we like for this as a market and an entry point. The mining industry also has the pockets and the cash to be able to pay for this type of technology, and we think are well incentivized to do it. It's a scalable way. You have a think about trying to detect cannabis at the gate or cocaine at the gate. It's very difficult. You have to stop thousands of employees coming on site. So they have a random testing protocol. We'll be able to dramatically increase the rate at which testing is done on site at the gate or randomly throughout the workplace.
Can you sort of give me an example of how that would work? I mean, I foresee just a security guard being able to, as they pass through, you have an isolated area. Tell me about your day so far. Something like that, something innocuous like that. And how much do they have to capture? 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. We've done this in several languages now. So it needs to be something that phonetically uses a range of intonations and vowels and consonants. And so an English phrase as simple as the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog is what we use for English speakers. We obviously have a Spanish version of that for South America and places like Chile. So our initial deployment, we've been able to collect a lot of a whole variety of voice data, including different languages, different accents, and so forth. And it's remarkably accurate how accurately we can depict and predict and detect different types and classes of drugs. And we're about to make some very serious announcements about those things, particularly in the types and classes of drugs that we're able to detect.
All right, Justin just brought up that they're going to be coming out with some news. Great places to find that news right here at the Investor Brand Network. And I'm looking at MindBioTherapeutics.com, and they do have an investors section, but right next to that, news and media. It's a great time for you to be adding this company to your watch list to do your due diligence or potentially adding them to your portfolio. So Justin, you're our guest today and we'd like to learn a little bit about you. Just looking at you on screen, you look like a physical fitness sort of guru, if you will. So obviously MindBio Therapeutics, you've clearly made a lifestyle of keeping yourself healthy. Tell us about your background.
Yeah, it's a good observation, Stuart. I think I do this because I love it. I'm very interested in health and wellness, and I'm in my mid-50s, and I like to keep healthy and fit. And my interests are really in exploring novel solutions to health problems and to enhancing global health. I think one of the big problems we have in society is that we're so interested in our illness and healing illness and sickness that we're not as interested in enhancing our health and wellness. So I'm interested in health and wellness enhancement. And that's part of the reason why I've been developing this company, and it's and doing research in the health space.
And what about some of the team members around you? Tell us just sort of, if you will, a little bit about the backstory of how your company, MindBio Therapeutics, came to be.
Yeah, we have a really great team, a broad team of expertise. Our board we have we have a three-member board. Our chairman is a serial entrepreneur. He's had several exits in the pharmaceutical space. He's ex-Bristol Myers Squibb. He's had an exit to Lupin Pharmaceuticals, and he currently runs one of the largest distributors, online marketplaces to the pharmaceutical industry in Australasia. Our second director, Dr. Zenith Burgess, is currently the CEO of the Australian Psychological Society. So our two independent directors are, very closely and intimately entwined in health and wellness, and obviously have a terrific background in business. We have a team of speech. We have a team of speech engineers and also infrastructure engineers, and who are deploying and building our apps and our technology, and obviously myself. We have people to help us with administration and being a publicly listed company, but we run very lean. We're a lean operation. We're really focusing on deploying this technology. We'll be ready at the end of this Q2 with our tech for testing in the mining industry. So our whole focus is really on deploying that and investing as much of our resources in engineering and technology as possible.
Outstanding. Well, let's look at 2026 then. First, let's go in the rearview mirror. Tell me a little bit about how this year has shaped up for you. We're about to enter the month of May, so almost four solid months done. What's the year been like for you so far? And then we'll look at a little bit about some of the goals remaining for your company ahead in the remainder of 2026.
It's been a big year already for us, Stuart. We've had probably three things that have happened that are real milestones for the company. We've been able to raise about $2.5 million to pursue technology and to complete the research that we needed to do to build the models, these prediction models for drug and alcohol intoxication detection. The second thing we've been doing is building out those models, and developing the technology to be able to deploy it in workplace environments and in law enforcement and so forth. The actual, how are people going to interact with this technology? And the third thing is that we've made some incredible discoveries, some novel discoveries that have never been thought of or done before. And so now I'm pleased to report that we can not only just detect alcohol from voice, we can detect a range of drugs that affect the central nervous system. And those drugs include drugs like cocaine, cannabis, psychedelics, including psilocybin, lysergic acid diethylamide, and we can detect opioids. These are all world first, and we are deploying them in our technology that will be used and tested for the first time later this quarter in Q2. So we're furiously building that technology, and it will be tested on work sites by the end of this quarter.
Outstanding. Well, what a great interview so far. And this really is my favorite part when I get to ask the CEO, looking forward on the horizon, what are some of the things that you'd like to see your company be able to achieve here in 2026?
Yeah, well, the dream really is to revolutionize drug and alcohol testing. So what we've become is a fabulous way to diagnose what's going on inside the body non-invasively. So this first deployment in drug and alcohol intoxication is really demonstrating our ability to do that. So we're becoming a diagnostics company using AI and voice, and who knows what we might be able to do next. It's well established that the voice is an incredible indicator of what's going on inside the body. And so I think a successful deployment in drug and alcohol intoxication is our first major objective.
Well, I said it before, what a great time to add these ticker symbols to your watch list. That's MBIO on the Canadian Stock Exchange, MBQIF here in the States. Learn more about the company at MindBio Therapeutics. This is just our first interview with Justin. We'll be checking back in later in 2026 to see how the company is matriculating towards the goals that Justin just laid out for us today. But Justin, before I let you go, any closing thoughts or comments for our listeners today?
I think Q2, end of this quarter, is going to be a big quarter for us because we'll be demonstrating this technology live, and I'll be roadshowing this right through North America when it's built. So that's coming. It's about 4 weeks away, so it's quite exciting time for the company.
Well, safe travels to you and your team. We expect great things from you and your team here in 2026 and well beyond. Thanks for your time today, Justin.
Thanks, Stuart.
All right, everyone, you know what to do. Hit those like buttons, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and leave comments for us in the section here below so that we can ask some follow-up questions to Justin and his team the next time we check in with MindBio Therapeutics. But for today, thanks so much for tuning in.
The TechMediaWire Podcast is an original content production powered by IBN, a multifaceted financial news and publishing company that delivers next-generation corporate communication solutions. Utilizing proprietary corporate communication tools such as news aggregation and syndication, social communication, and brand awareness techniques, among others, IBN introduces both public and private companies to diverse audiences to enhance reach and recognition. IBN may receive compensation for services and solutions provided to its client partners. You should assume that the owners, officers, and directors of IBN or financial analysts mentioned in this production may hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities in their own accounts. This production is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell any securities that may be mentioned in this production. The information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be or should it be construed as investment advice. As in all investments, investment in the featured companies carries inherent investment risk. Listeners should review the companies thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This production by IBN is not purported to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used in statements of fact have been obtained from featured companies and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by IBN as to completeness and accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see IBN's full disclaimers and disclosures at www.ibn.fm/disclaimer. Music in this episode is by Infraction. For more, visit inaudio.org.